I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. D&D is something that is incredibly important to me, and it means a lot to me. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for many years now. I am a DM, a forever DM. I have played in many campaigns, I have DM'd many campaigns, and I'm currently DMing a campaign in my own completely custom world and completely custom story. So I have a lot of experience with D&D, and I've met a lot of people in D&D, I have some great friends from D&D, and we have awesome time. So when I found Baldur's Gate, shit hit the fucking fan, I'm not gonna lie, shit hit the fan. Everything was awesome. Baldur's Gate is just one of the, most insane games I've ever played. It very, very quickly became my favorite RPG of all time. And that is something that is not, something that's not easy to do for me, you know? And my favorite game, I have two favorite games. The tied for the top spot is Baldur's Gate and Skyrim. And it takes a lot to become as good as Skyrim in my eyes. To be the same level as Skyrim in my eyes takes a fucking lot. So that's what we're talking about today. I'm going to talk about exactly why Baldur's Gate 3 is a masterpiece. So by the way, there are going to be a bunch of spoilers here. If you've not played the game, or at least not seen a playthrough of the game, go watch it, go play it, go have some fucking fun. This game is so worth it. Alright, so the story of the game in general, I've heard a lot of people actually not be huge fans of the story. I think a lot of people have have really talked about how they're kind of the story wasn't too good for them, how it wasn't too grandiose or things like that. And I'm like, I kind of disagree with that sentiment. I disagree with the sentiment that the story wasn't great. I think the story was really, really good. I have no problems with the story. Was the story basic? I mean, yeah, but what most D&D stories are quite basic, you know? The story is quite literally, I go and I grab MacGuffin, or I kill person, or I do very specific things, right? Don't get me wrong, D&D stories can be extremely long and extremely in-depth, but a lot of D&D stories are quite simple, and that's kind of some of the magic behind it. Yeah, they're simple, but just because a story is small or a story is simple does not mean that the story is bad. I think that the idea that a story has to be grandiose, long, and unbelievable, and just twists and turns everywhere, and just absolutely incredible because it's so long and so in-depth, I don't agree with that. I think a long, in-depth story can be incredible, absolutely amazing, but a simple story can also be just as amazing. And I really liked the Baldur's Gate 3 story. I don't think it's insane or anything like that, but I thought it was really, really good. So the story basically is you are you're on this nautiloid. A nautiloid is something that is controlled by basically octopus people, like squid people. You get something put in, you get this parasite in your eye, and the ship crashes, and you have to go and get the parasite out. Very simple. You go and meet a bunch of people. Eventually you realize that there's this cult, and you have to go and defeat the cult. And so you walk around the area on the Sword Coast, eventually reaching Baldur's Gate and doing a bunch of stuff there. I'm not going to go super in depth in the story, but that's the story essentially. You just have to stop this cult, which is Dungeons and fucking Dragons. I can't express that enough, how Dungeons and Dragons that story is, right? It fits perfectly into D&D, and I think that's a lot what the story, why I like the story, is because it feels like I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. It feels like a story that would be played in D&D, right? It's pretty simple, and I'm I like it, so fuck it, why not? I think the story is brilliant. There was at no point during the story where I was bored, or I didn't want to know what happened next, or something made me bored. Never. Not once. I was always really excited to keep going. The characters of Baldur's Gate are just brilliant, right? There is not a character other than Will that that I'm just not interested in at all, right? Every character I'm very, very interested in. I think they're all done perfectly. As you can see, fucking Shadowheart is my thumbnail. I really like Shadowheart. I really, really like Shadowheart. and not just because she's hot as shit. Absolutely a goth mummy who will please fucking step on me. Like, not just that, right? Also, I really enjoy her story, and I really enjoy like the turmoil she goes through in trying to figure out who she is. Alright, so I'm gonna, again, just fucking spoiler Shadowheart story, spoiler all stories. Shadowheart is a cleric of the Night Song. Not the Night Song, holy shit, how have I fucking forgot? Oh my god. Wait, how have I forgotten the name of the god? Oh, this is not good. Oh, people are gonna think I'm fucking, Shah, the Lady of Loss, yeah. So like, she worships Shah. Shah is a somewhat dark figure. And by dark, I mean very dark. She's pretty evil. But Shadowheart worships her. And because of this, she has her memory erased. She is like removed. She can get it back, but she has to go and do a bunch of things to get it back. And throughout the story, throughout being with Shadowheart, she goes from this like very kind of like fucking rude sort of like bitch that really rubbed me the wrong way at the start, but I thought she was hot. It really rubbed me the wrong way, and like she really starts off as very standoffish and very combative. But as you get to know her, she kind of like, you feel the confidence, you feel that she's very confident, she's very like sly, she's very like flirtatious, and like the more you kind of like talk to Shadowheart and the more the story goes on, and the more you begin to learn who she is as a person, that like facade kind of just starts crumbling. Like Shadowheart goes from this confident person who seems to be a bit of a bitch and very combative to like, when she, especially after she realizes and that you tell her like, yo, Shah ain't it, dude. She goes through like the gauntlet of Shah. She realizes very soon that it's like, holy fuck, wait, I don't want this. Like, this is wrong. And then when she realizes it's wrong, then you just see the crumbling of who Shadowheart is. And she kind of like, she becomes more herself. She becomes a bit more timid, she becomes more quiet, but at the same time, she really opens up to you as a person, like your character, and the more she opens up, the closer she gets. And then obviously she dyes her hair, she changes her hair, she completely drops Shah, and she is like with Seluna now, who is the sister of Shah. And I think that is really, really, really awesome. You just like, you get to see that Shadowheart kind of like, even though she is so like enamored with Shah, that she realizes it's wrong, and you get to see her go on this journey of like trying to figure out who she is after the fact, right? After she leaves Shah, she needs to figure out who she is, and that's just fucking incredible. I love it. One of my other favorite characters is Lae'zel. I know a lot of people like the fucking Frog Lady. I love the Frog Lady. I think the Frog Lady is awesome. She's kind of got the same like base story in a way, or she can have the same base story where she is completely devoted to the Lich Queen. Oh my god. You know, I should do research before these videos. I should research this shit, you know what I mean? Fuck's sake. Vlaakith, thank you. She has an undying love for Vlaakith. And, you know, she's Githyanki, so this is just her entire life. Her entire life is trying to ascend for Vlaakith, trying to do shit for Vlaakith. That is her entire life. And even to like more, like to a different extent, you get to see that after if you do convince Lae'zel to like not worship Vlaakith anymore and like realize who she is and realize that Vlaakith's a fucking pretender. After that, you really get to see like for the first time from this person who is just so fucking confident, and she's so violent and so like even more than Shadowheart combative and hateful. You get to see her like kind of crumble, like the same as Shadowheart. She actually shows you like the more like scared and the more like quiet side of her and the more loving side of her, to an extent. I mean, she's still fucking Lae'zel, you know. She's still Lae'zel, right? Like it's like she is still like Lae'zel, but she is more like accepting, she's more loving, she's more open, and eventually she's like, fuck it, we're going for the Comet Boy, it's time. And she walks in, she's fucking confident, she beats the shit out of everybody, it's awesome. It's just really, really cool to like watch this happen. My other favorite character is Karlach. I love Karlach. I love Karlach's story. I love like how every story is kind of sad, and hers is especially sad to me because like she was taken from her home, and she was sold by Gortash, one of the main enemies. And when she was sold to somebody in the Hell, Zariel, in the Hells, and she was given an engine for a heart, and because of that, she kind of is like, she's just too hot to touch, right? And because she's like too hot to touch, she never gets to experience the love and things like that, and she starts commenting on it halfway through. She's like, I just kind of want to hug someone, you know? And then when you finally get her heart fixed, she like, when she hugs you, I almost cried because it's so cute. And she's like, she's so happy at just having some friends and just getting to kind of live a somewhat normal life. And then like you spend the entire story trying to convince her to go back to the Hells, dealing with the trauma she's gotten from the fact that she was sold, from the fact that she has been abused for so long. And if you do convince her, instead of her exploding, you can convince her to go back to the Hells, and you can fight Zariel, and you can be motherfuckers together, and it's awesome. Another one, obviously, I probably might just talk about almost every character, or at least like the main origin characters. So then we have my boy, the one who I didn't care for at first, but eventually fell in love with, my boy, Gale. I love Gale. I think he is a little sweetie. I think he's an absolute charming nerd, and he absolutely got me fucking smitten, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't care for him until he started being, and then I looked a bit more, I talked to him a bit more, and I was just so in love with him. And I love Gale. Gale is like, kind of like, his lust for power and like to become a better wizard, it kind of like drives him forward, but at the same time, it's like, you can see in a way that he's kind of chasing it so he can prove himself to Mystra, who is the god of magic. And you can kind of like, in a way, kind of fix that, you know? Because like, meeting you, and as he's like, it's like, you know, he's fucked a god, right? You know, like, you don't just do that every other day, you know what I mean? And then like, the fact that he gets with you and he loves you the same amount is awesome. I don't really have much to say on Gale because I've not done his entire story, but I love Gale. One of the sadder characters is Astarion. Everybody loves Astarion, and I know why, because he's fucking hilarious. Half the time of my first campaign, I didn't want to keep him because he's not like great in combat, but I kept him anyway because he was just so fucking funny. And he really has a super depressing story. Like, he is just some like vampire who was unfortunately turned into a vampire spawn, and he's been abused, and he's been used to like kidnap people and seduce people so they can also be vampire spawn. And it's really fucking sad. It's so sad because he has to escape, and like when he's escaped, he has all of his like vampire brothers and sisters still back there, and he knows the shit he's done. And it's like, you can see it weighing on him. But at the same time, he's fucking hilarious and hot as shit. Like, everyone in this game is so attractive. Like, they're all so fucking awesome. It's so fucking funny. But, like, you can see, like, when you do eventually kill Cazador, you can see the weight on his shoulders. The fact that he is, don't ever ascend a star and fuck you. The fact that this weighed so heavily on him for so long. I think it is so awesome. And then there's also Will, who I just don't really give a fuck about. I never cared for Will. I still don't really care for Will that much. Fuck it. I don't know. He's cool, I guess. his first line made me just immediately roll my eyes and be like, holy fuck, you're a D&D character. Alright, so this one's kind of like, this one's going to be a little, not controversial, but I know a lot of people don't actually like the gameplay, don't like the combat of Baldur's Gate. And personally, I didn't think I'd like it. I didn't like, when I was looking at it, I didn't really, like, when I saw it for the first time, I didn't really know what to say to it. I just kind of was like, this doesn't look that fun. But after spending like, 300 hours in this game, I fucking love the combat. The combat is awesome. I adore it. It's so brilliant. And like, I know it's a big turnoff for people, but like, I don't really see why. I at the start, I didn't think I'd like it, but it was something new to me. I never played like a game like this, so I wasn't really that interested. And so I like, I wanted to, but I still tried it out because D&D, and I had the money, so I was like, fuck it, let's try it. And so I tried it, and I fell in love with the combat. I think the combat is brilliant. It's very in-depth, it's very fun, it's very, like, it's a little overwhelming at first, but very, like, easy to get the hang of. And you can really abuse it and have some of those broken fucking characters. Like me and my friends did on our fucking, oh my god. Dude, my brain is so fucking tiny. It's insane. Like we did on our honor run. There we go. Like we did on our honor run, we built the most broken fucking characters to win that game. And it was so fun. I think everyone kind of was always a bit iffy with the combat in my friend group, but we all like fell in love with it very quickly. Because it's just like, it's fun, dude. It's D&D, motherfuckers. It's great. I want to talk a bit more about a few of the issues I have with the game, if any. And I also want to talk about in general how I feel about the game, if it's not very obvious already. A few issues I have is that I think that the boss fights are a tad underwhelming. I think the fight against Ketheric is awesome. I think the fight against Raphael is some of the most fun I've had in gaming. It's fucking hard, and it's so awesome if you don't choose it. And it's like so fucking fun. And then the rest are kind of just mid, honestly. Like, this is the way I went around doing the bosses was I did Ketheric, obviously, and then I did Raphael before I did Khazad-dûr, Orin, and Gortash. And it was kind of mid, to be honest. Like, after I'd fucking struggled hard with Raphael and beat him, and I screamed and everything was so hype. Like, but until then, like, after that, sorry, everything just kind of was mid. I kind of just steamrolled through everything. Like, Orin was not a challenge, though I thought she had a cool fight. Gortash's fight was so underwhelming. It was so boring. We just walked in there and one-shot him. Like, I walked in there, drilled this man, and then left. Because it just wasn't difficult. And then, like, compared to Raphael, who was so fucking insane, I thought that Gortash and Orin were going to be harder than Raphael, because I did Raphael before. And I'm like, there's no way he's not, like, they're not insane. And they weren't. They were really just pushovers. Orin less so. Orin, I think, was still a cool fight, but she was still underwhelming. So in my honor run, we one-shot. We literally walked in, turn one killed Gortash, and left. Because it just wasn't difficult. Raphael, we struggled with. But Orin, again, we like turn two killed her. It was not difficult. But like, I was really underwhelmed by a few of the boss fights in the game, where I was like, I think that the final boss fight could have been done a little better and could have been a little harder, if not like a little more well done. Other boss fights I think have been really, really cool. I liked the crash in the second act. Thought that was really fun. I really liked that. A lot of the fights I'm really a big fan of. Fuck the Moonrise fight. Fuck that fight. Fuck the fight when you're entering Moonrise. Dog shit fight. Fucking hate it. It's so annoying. I fucking despise that fight. It is so annoying to do. Because, like, you're either blinded, slowed, pulled in, all the fucking CCs in the universe, and I'm ready to flip my fucking table. It took me hours to do that because it was just so fucking frustrating. And it's like, that needed to be changed. That was not great. I did not enjoy that. But the rest of the game, I completely enjoyed. Like, this game, I think, for me, came out during a time where I kind of was a little mute on gaming, like the gaming industry. The gaming industry as a whole is a complete fucking cesspool of dog shit. It is fucking awful. From layoffs to companies abusing you for your money, like shitty practices, trying to scam you out of every fucking like penny they can possibly get. It is insane. And it is vile. And like during that time, and we're still in that time, and unfortunately Baldur's Gate has not been able to really change much, which I was kind of like, obviously it wasn't going to, but I was hoping it would. Baldur's Gate is a game that came out during this time and just proved that you do not need microtransactions. You don't need to abuse your players. You don't need to shit on everyone for an extra fucking cent. That you can just create a game that is finished, that is polished, that is fucking gorgeous, and is fun and amazing. And like, people will buy it in droves. Baldur's Gate is an incredible success. Probably more so than some of the games that are like microtransaction filled shit pulls. Looking at you, Overwatch 2, looking at you, fucking Suicide Squad. You know what I mean? Call of Duty, fucking the Star Wars Battlefront 2 fiasco. Like, that's just fucking... It's so awful to see what the gaming industry is, but I always like... There's always like a bit of a light. And I think one of them, especially in the AAA industry, is Baldur's Gate. It doesn't try and shit you out your money. It doesn't try to scam you. It just gives you a full game. It gives you incredible story, incredible characters, incredible gameplay. It's full. Again, I cannot stress it enough. It does not try to fucking scam you for all your money. It is incredible. And like, they said they weren't going to do DLC. And like, they said they weren't going to do that. And I'm like, please give me more. Like, I don't like to buy DLC. I'm not a huge fan of DLC. I think that if you're gonna make DLC, just fucking add it to the content, right? Add it to the base game. There is no reason for you, especially fucking, I'm looking at all the games who do dog shit DLCs after the fucking game is released. Like, they just fucking steal things from the main game to release them for an extra fucking price. Dog shit. As usual, the fucking gaming industry is still shit. It's just become an absolute fucking mess, and I hate it. And like, even though like I don't like DLC, I would buy fucking Baldur's Gate DLC in a heartbeat, because this game has earned my trust, because fucking Larian have earned my trust, that I believe that they won't try to scam me with Baldur's Gate shit. Like, it's difficult. I'm not going to trust a company ever. Don't trust companies, ladies, gents, and everyone in between. Never trust companies. Companies are shit. Companies will try and do anything they could possibly do to steal all the money from you. They will, and they have, and every single opportunity they have done this, every single time. But with Larian, I feel like I trust them enough. I trust them enough. I think that if they released a Baldur's Gate DLC, it would be finished, it would be fun, and it would be enjoyable. But yeah, I think the game, like in general, if you want to play Baldur's Gate, go play Baldur's Gate. I know it's been over a year since the game released. It won Game of the Year. It's my favorite game of all time, tied with Skyrim. Please go play Baldur's Gate. Show this game so much fucking love. It so deserves the love and the praise it gets. There is a reason this game is Game of the Year. It shows what the gaming industry can be. It shows the insane heights that the gaming industry can be. Please go play this game. Please. It is so worth your time, especially if you're a D&D player. It hits every mark of D&D perfectly. I adore it. Please go play it. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I love you all very, very much. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Mwah.